There we go. Hello. Grab boxing. No. All right. Getting settled in here. Don't have to wear socks if you don't want to for this practice. All right. Hopefully you can hear me. Good. View looks good. Good. All right. Thanks for joining today. It's Wednesday. This is our midday vinyasa. So we're going to do a little warm up on the mat, and then we're going to go up to standing and do a few sun salutations, going through some of those base moves, adds a little twist, and then I'll check the time from there. So this is just a nice way to break up the day, give yourself a little space, a little breath, a little stretch. Or if you're here for a moment of peace and meditation, we'll have some of that in too. If you have a strap, you're more than welcome to use it. If you have blocks, you're more than welcome to use them as you see fit to support your body. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start today on our backs. So you can adapt this as needed. If you're in chair, you're more than welcome. Well, while we're on back, to do the stretches with the lower body seated, using the hands or straps or block or what have you for support. So vinyasa, we move a little bit quicker than hatha. So it's a little bit fast paced, and we're doing the movements while having those inhales and exhales. So hatha, we might stay within a pose asana and stay there and breathe, 2, 3, 5 breaths, and then move on. While vinyasa, we're inhaling, exhaling, and moving. Although sometimes, depending on your breathing rate, it may still be, 2 or 3 breaths, but just at a little bit faster pace or deeper pace. So we're starting on the back. We're going to allow the left leg to go long. I'm going to bring the right knee in the chest to start. And so we will start off a little bit slower. The feet can have some toe wiggles, or you could take a moment for some ankle circles, and then breathing here. So it's almost like we're moving from a hatha into a vinyasa, but that's because we're stretching and warming up the body to prepare us for the movement. So breathe, that right knees into chest. Check with the leg and the alignment. So I know I do this sometimes where my right leg will start to fall out to side. So bringing that right knee and right leg aligned with that right half of body, just kind of under the right side of chest. Breathe and stretch. And then when ready, we're going to extend that leg. So here you might want to use your strap. So you might lift up with the upper body just to take the strap around the foot, adjust as needed. And we're going to extend that right foot to ceiling or sky. That left leg is still nice and long. We're going to stretch and breathe. And just being aware of the knee. If you have the knee unbent, you might notice you don't want to overextend that right knee. So just being aware the foot will be flexed, which means it's flat. So bottom of foot facing the ceiling or sky. Left foot can be soft or pointed. It's up to you. Breathe and stretch. We're going to drop that right leg out to right side. Left leg is still long. Right leg might not touch or connect to the floor. That's all right. We're just warming up the body. To find some balance, you might extend and lengthen that left arm away out to side. And you're going to bring it back to center, and then you're going to, with control, allow that right leg to fall out to left side, a spinal twist here. So here then the right arm might float out to side to bring some balance. Breathing. And then bringing it back, everything to center. Gently, slowly allow that right knee to bend and come into chest once again. And then we're going to take all that to the opposite side. So the right foot will connect to mat and then lengthen that leg away. Left knee will come to chest. And your upper body is just relaxed upon the mat. Shoulders are soft. Full back, upper, middle, and lower back is connected to mat. Breathe, lengthen, release. When I say release, you're starting to think about or even letting go of any of those thoughts that you might have in your head, and you're just bringing your focus to your body. So breathing, inhaling, exhaling, envisioning your breath moving into any tight spaces in the body and allowing release. And then we'll take that left foot to ceiling or sky. So you might lift up the upper body for that. If you decide to use strap, extend and lengthen that leg away. Check in with the knee so you're not overextending. If the knee is unbent, it's straight leg. Right foot is still connected to mat. I'm trying to work on this a little bit more myself, and I can already tell, just a little bit each week, really does a lot, or each day can do a lot. Like before, my right foot would not stay connected to mat. When I would do this stretch, it would kind of lift up, and now you're stretching your muscles; they get more flexible. Some benefits of yoga. I'm going to take it out to the left side. So here, that right arm might go out to side to find some balance. Breathe and release. And then take it through center. Adjust as you choose or need. We're going to find that spinal twist here. The left leg will cross to over right. So left arm might go out to side. Feel that stretch, possibly across the glutes, the glutes, and the back of the leg, possibly. Breathe. Allow that leg to rest if it's asking to go a little bit further in your practice and stretch. And then when ready, bring it all back to center. That left knee is going to come to chest. You could drop your strap if you choose. Get a little stretch here. And then we're going to take the right knee and welcome both knees to chest. And here you could rock side to side. You could find some circles away from center in either direction. Hands wrapped around the shins, possibly. You could wiggle the toes, find some movement in the feet, give them a little refresher there. Wake up the feet and toes. Maybe even just kind of swinging the bottom half of leg. And then we're going to go ahead and just allow a stretch with both legs up towards the ceiling and sky really quick. We're going to take the arms overhead. Inhaling, exhaling. Now you have options. We're going to kind of rock the body up into a seated position. So you have the options, if it feels good, to keep the legs long and do so, and then kind of coming up in a seated staff pose, or you have the option to cross the feet and then rock up. We're going to keep the legs out forward though. So you're going to come up to seated, like as when we started with Sukhasana. Rock up forward. We're not going to flow the legs through. We're just bringing them forward to find Sukhasana coming up. That's why if you wanted, you could have kept the legs long. We're going to find ourselves here seated. Close the eyes and just find some head circles once you are seated. Head circles in one direction. And then head circles in the opposite direction. Go ahead and allow the chin to find chest. Breathe and stretch. A little catch up for the mind and body here. Then tilt the head back. It's great if you've been staring at a computer or the road all day. Bring the head to center, choose an ear, bring it to that same side shoulder. You could use the hand for support. So I'm tilting my head to the right, using my right hand over the left side of head. Then release, take the opposite ear to opposite shoulder. Now I would use my left hand, go a little bit deeper. And release. And you can shake out the shoulders here. You can roll the shoulders to front to back or just some movement there. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the hands forward. We're going to, if your legs are out, you're going to want to bring your legs in first. So you're going to find that Sukhasana cross legs, hands come forward, and then the legs will uncross underneath to find a to find a tabletop position. I really want to get into standing today. So, so we're going to find ourselves in tabletop. We're going to notice and spread the fingers apart. The arms are going to be underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Feet, we're going to lift up onto those toes, give a little stretch to the mat if you choose, unless you're wearing shoes, because then it might be a little bit different. Take a breath here. And then you could stay here if you choose in stillness and find stretch between the palm, or if you're feeling ready, we'll find some cat-cows. So we'll find cat-cows, your inhales and exhales. We'll start with cow, where you drop the belly, the crown and tail lift, inhaling. And when you're ready to exhale, you'll find the cat, round the back, pull the belly button into spine, drop the head and tail. Find a few more. Breathing through. Then maybe you find that last cat. Exhaling, releasing. Find tabletop. We're going to find a thread the needle so the feet can go flat now. Maybe shake anything out that is being requested of you. You're going to extend and lengthen the right arm out to side and then up to ceiling and sky. So it's going to welcome a little twist across the torso. You're going to exhale, thread the needle. We're going to be here for just a moment, welcoming a stretch in the shoulders. So you can keep your left hand close by if you'd like. And then we're going to release. We're going to flow that right arm out to side and up to sky again. And then take it through once again. Breathe. And a breath here. And when ready, once again, release, last round. You're going to take that right arm up to sky. And when you're ready, flow with your exhale, flow with your breath. Now this third one, if you'd like to adjust that opposite arm away or up to sky or behind the back, go for it. Then when ready, we'll gently release. We'll bring everything back to center. We're going to find ourselves taking both hands forward for a moment. We're going to find our first downward dog. So if you have the feet flat, you'll want to curl those toes, possibly again. Option to stay on all fours and roll and rock. Or you could start to find your downward dog. You could find the low dog to start, where you're maybe then starting to bring stretch and awareness into the lower body. The feet start to go mat width apart, pedaling out the feet, rocking the tail, checking in with the hands. Breathe, finding your downward dog. And then I'm going to find a plank for just a moment. Moving from your downward dog to your plank, that tail lowers, arms are strong, then move back into your downward dog and slowly bring the knees back down to tabletop. And we'll take Balasana. Big toes can touch behind you. You can go mat width apart or the knees can stay mat hip width apart. Find your Balasana of choice, child's pose. Breathe. And then gently release, roll up, release out of your Balasana Child's Pose. We're going to take all that to the opposite side with awareness, but we're going to start with those cat cows to begin with that side. So once again, your hands are maybe pressing into the mat, aligned underneath the arms and shoulders, fingers spread apart at your own pace and time, moving with your breath. You'll find your cows and cats. Maybe you take anywhere between 3 and 5 of them, just depending on how you're flowing, how you're feeling. You have that stretch going in the toes once again. Inhaling, exhaling. And we will get to standing before the end of practice. So we'll get through this round just to get a full body stretch, at least for a moment. Maybe you find that last cat and return to tabletop. We're going to bring awareness to left side. So we're going to find threading the needle. So you're going to inhale, extend and lengthen. That left arm goes up to the left side. Then you'll find a little twist in the torso. If you take that left arm up to ceiling or sky, exhale, thread the needle, passing by the right arm. Left temple and shoulder could meet their way to mat. Feet can stay with toes up or flat. Take a breath, take a moment, feel the stretch. Then when ready, you'll gently release. Take that left arm out and up again. And exhale. And to thread the needle. Take a breath, take a moment. Then when ready, once again. Last one for round. You might notice that side opening up, getting a little bit further in that stretch, being able to take the left arm to sky. Take a breath in here. We'll be here a little bit longer with the breath, so you can take that right arm up and away. You can take it up to ceiling or sky or behind the spine. It's up to you. Then when ready, we'll gently release. Turning to center, hands make adjustments. You're going to find your downward dog here. So arms and hands may creep a little bit more forward. Take whichever downward dog is calling your body. Make any adjustments you need. My mat's getting a little slippery, so just making my own adjustments here. And find a tail wag possibly, or pedaling the feet. Maybe you just take moments of stillness in your downward dog and breathe. Then when ready, we're going to go ahead and find that plank pose after a moment of pausing in our downward dog. Engage that core, pull that belly button into spine, and then take it back, downward dog. And knees return to mat. Tabletop. Breathe here. Then when ready, we're going to go ahead. We're going to make our way to an Uttanasana. So we're going to bring the knees in a little bit closer. The hands could start to come in closer. And then you're going to flip up onto those toes. You're going to take the tail back. The arms and hands will keep coming into center. You're going to find a yoga squat at the back or end of the mat. So it just means we're bringing both knees to chest. You're going to find yourself on your toes or your feet. Hands are coming nice and close to support you. And then when you're ready, you're just going to unfold the body. Tail goes up, head inverts to find a Uttanasana. So take your time, the blood flow, the movement. You're going to feel those legs, the muscles lengthening, and knees unbending. You might notice how the calves are feeling today, or the shins, or the quads, or the hamstrings, the quads in the front, hammies in the back. So take your moments here, find your Uttanasana. And then if you choose, you can take opposite hands to opposite elbows and rock the body front to back. Or side to side, breathing, welcoming awareness, lifting up the toes. And then we're going to find a halfway lift. Inhale, halfway lift, inhale up. Lengthen the spine, shoulders back, exhale. Once again, when you're ready, you're going to continue to halfway lift. Inhale up. Exhale, back down when ready. Breathe and release. I just want to check the time. Inhale up. One more round. Find that halfway lift. And exhale, release. Uttanasana. You're going to go ahead. You're going to gently allow the knees to bend. You're going to flow all the way up into standing. We're going to let those arms creep through center. They're going to make their way to ceiling or sky. The vision can follow. Lengthen, stretch, stretch, stretch. Feel the feet pressing into the mat. Lower those shoulders as the hands reach for the ceiling and sky. Welcome that stretch in the front of the neck if you choose. Inhale, reach, then exhale. We're going to rain the fingers back down. We're going to gently bend the knees. We're going to fold into a Uttanasana once again. So slow and steady with this one. Tail inverts up. Find your Uttanasana. You could find that ragdoll. You can find the arms swaying. Had to get just a moment of stretch and release. I like to play with the weight and where it goes on my feet when I'm in Uttanasana. So sometimes I'll lift the toes, take it forward and lift off the heels or the sides of foot to bring awareness. Then we're going to go ahead and take the feet about hip width apart, so aligning with our hips. And then we're going to walk the hands forward towards the top of the mat. You're going to walk into a plank. Find your plank. Then you're going to go ahead and with control, arms and palms stay nice and close into body. You're going to drop down to belly. The feet can go flat once again. Hands can come forward. Find this moment of stillness with belly connected to mat. We're going to welcome a baby cobra into a cobra here, just for a stretch through the spine. So hands can stay forward or they can lift up when you get into your cobra. Take your time. You're going to lift into that baby cobra and stretch. Palms are maybe connected to mat. Option to raise and lift hands up and in. Vision is kind of at an angle just past the mat. Then gently release. Maybe forehead comes to mat to touch, maybe not, maybe nose, maybe not. And then when ready, you'll find either the same baby cobra, or you can find that full, I like to call it our king cobra. You can lift and raise. Some people call it up dog. There's little differences, subtle differences that can change the name. Drop those shoulders down. Gently release. Exhale. Bring awareness to the body. We're going to roll down the body, lifting up from the crown, roll down into Balasana, child's pose. You're going to stay in your child's pose for about 5 to 7 extended breaths. So you could change the variations. You could keep the knees aligned with hips. You could take the knees mat width apart. Arms could lengthen for a shoulder stretch, or if you want a more restful Balasana, bring forearm over forearm, forehead onto forearm, or you could use a block and rest the forehead on your block. Do whichever you choose. You're always welcome also to keep, you don't want to, put the head and neck out of alignment too much and cause pressure or stress on the neck, but there's always option to lift the chest and head up, vision still facing down. But if you want to focus more on the lower body and not so much the upper body, you could have that space up top. It's up to you. Find about 2 more breaths or so. Then when ready, gently release. We're going to use the hands to come into center if they went long. We're going to bring awareness, lift the tail off the heels. Feet can go out to one side and then the other. Feet are going to guide us to the center of the mat. We're going to find a bound angle or diamond here. So you're coming to a seated position on the mat, finding a diamond, knees falling out to either side. Find some butterflies here, bound angle. Inhale, Exhale, then on the next inhale, lengthen and grow. Exhale, option to forward fold. It doesn't have to go far, just a little bit over that lower body to put some pressure to open up the hips a little more. Hold for a breath, and when ready, you're going to gently release, rolling up the spine. We're going to let left leg go long. Right leg can stay to right side or cross over left. We're going to take a seated spinal twist to bring some balance and alignment back in the body. Option to wrap the left arm around the right leg. Option to backstroke the right arm towards the back of body, or take the left arm outside. Take whichever variation you choose. It's up to you. Stretch. Release, take that to the opposite side. Options, of course. And release. And shake, or just release anything else that is being asked to be released. Then when ready, you're gonna let the legs go long. Slow and controlled. The arms can extend and lengthen to help balance out the body. We're gonna just unwind and allow and lower down to the mat. Slow and controlled. Take any other little movements or stretches. Maybe arms go overhead for full body stretch. And then maybe the knees come into chest again. Option to rock side to side, or find those circles of the knees in one direction and the other. And then when you are ready, we'll start to move from our physical practice and asanas to our moment for peace and Shavasana, corpse pose. So just finding your breath. Maybe if you have the eyes open or a hazy gaze, if you're feeling safe and in a safe space, you could close the eyes and just bring your awareness to your breath. While you're breathing, you have the option of doing a body scan where you just kind of mentally check in. You check in with the head. How's that feeling? Deep inhale and exhale to release any tightness or tension there, or within the jaw or the neck or the shoulders or the ears. Just moving down the body, breathing, taking your time, no rush, no worry, no hurry. Eventually, allowing an overwhelming sense of peace and calm to come over the body and mind and thoughts, and just breathing. Now, you are more than welcome to stay in your moment of peace or Shavasana as long as you'd like, if you have the extra time. Otherwise, you might want to welcome in a deep breath, a deep release, letting everything go, allowing that overwhelming sense of calm and peace to stay with you as we end the practice, where you'll start to slowly allow movements, physical awareness in the body, maybe wiggling of fingers or limbs or toes, or gentle movements, torso or hips or shoulders or the head. slowly moving from one side to the other. And as you do such, when you feel ready, when your body has asked, you can slowly turn on to one side. If you did Shavasana and corpse pose, maybe turning onto your left side or your right, and hold still for that moment after, just to allow the blood and body to catch up and align. Breathing. And then when you feel ready, gently rising, raising, no rush, no hurry, up to a seated Sukhasana position, or maybe a half lotus or full lotus is calling you. It's up to you. Being slow with breath, maybe the eyes are still closed. Eventually coming into that seated position of choice. Inhaling, exhaling. If you do not choose to still stay within your Shavasana, which is fine also. And then together, if you'd like to end your practice with me and you're ready to go on with the rest of your day, you can bring Ajna, prayer mudra, hands to heart. We'll take one deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and then when you're ready to release, deep exhale. We'll do that once again. Inhale. This time sighing out. And I'd like to thank you for joining me for this midday vinyasa, a time for stretch and self-care and wellness. May this flow ease you into the rest of your day with light, peace, smiles, and love. Namaste. So namaste. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free, of course, to stay and ask. You could drop them in the comment section, or you always have the option to throw them in a chat with me online, or shoot an email or discussion in the group. So otherwise, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.